They're massive, yet delicate. They mourn their dead, but can crush predators with a single stomp. They're the biggest animals on land, and yet humans have nearly made them vanish. Elephants aren't just giants, they're memory keepers, ecosystem engineers, and maybe even one of the smartest creatures alive. How can they cry, laugh, and call friends by name, all while shaping the land beneath their feet? And here's a crazy twist. Despite all that power, elephants can't even jump. Welcome to Wildlife Lounge. In today's episode, we're diving into the life of the mighty elephant. And trust me, you'll never look at them the same way again. And hey, if you love uncovering the weirdest, wildest secrets of nature, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It keeps the adventure going. Today, we'll explore the 3 surviving elephant species, reveal just how big they actually are, and uncover the incredible tools evolution has given them, like trunks with 40,000 muscles and tusks that start wars. We'll dive into their complex societies, where matriarchs lead with wisdom and herds mourn their dead. And of course, we'll face the harsh truth about poaching and shrinking habitats, before ending with the incredible powers that make elephants one of Earth's greatest survivors. By the end, you'll understand why saving elephants isn't just about one animal. It's about saving entire ecosystems. So let's break down who's who in the elephant kingdom. Elephants belong to the family Elephantidae in the order Proboscideae. Only 3 species remain today: the African savanna elephant, Loxodonta africana, the heavyweight champion of the land. The African forest elephant, Loxodonta cyclotis, smaller, with straight tusks and a forest-dwelling lifestyle. The Asian elephant, Elephas maximus, smaller ears, deep cultural significance, and sadly, shrinking numbers. Their cousins, the woolly mammoths and mastodons, may be gone, but elephants are still carrying the torch of this ancient family. And speaking of carrying the torch, let's see just how much weight these giants can carry around. An adult male African elephant can weigh up to 6,000 kilograms and stand over 3 meters tall at the shoulder. That's heavier than 10 cars stacked together. And even calves aren't exactly small. They weigh about 120 kilograms at birth. Despite all that bulk, elephants can run at 25 kilometers per hour. But here's the kicker: they physically can't jump. There's always at least 1 foot on the ground. Imagine entering a track and field competition, but the long jump is just a long walk. But here's the part that'll shock you. In just 1 century, humans have wiped out nearly 90% of Africa's elephants. How? We'll get to that soon. But first, let's talk about where these giants live and why they're the ultimate architects of nature. Elephants roam across more than 50 countries in Africa and Asia. Savannas, forests, deserts. These giants aren't picky, but they're not just living in these environments, they're shaping them. Elephants are called ecosystem engineers. They bulldoze paths through forests, tear down trees that allow sunlight to nourish smaller plants, and dig water holes that sustain entire communities of animals. When elephants disappear, so does biodiversity. And to understand how they do all this, you've got to see the tools they've been given. First up, the trunk. With over 40,000 muscles, it's basically the Swiss Army knife of biology. One moment it's plucking a peanut, the next it's ripping branches out of trees. Oh, and when elephants swim, the trunk becomes a snorkel. Evolution really said, why not give them a multi-tool? Then there are the tusks, giant ivory incisors used for digging, fighting, and stripping bark. Sadly, Tusks are also why elephants are hunted. Their skin, cracked and wrinkled, holds water, traps mud, and works as built-in sunscreen. Honestly, elephants invented skincare before humans did. But even with all these built-in upgrades, life isn't easy. Let's talk about their predators and their greatest threat of all. In the wild, adult elephants don't have many enemies. Lions might take down calves, crocodiles might ambush at watering holes, but full-grown elephants, almost untouchable. The real danger is us, humans. Poaching for ivory has devastated populations, and habitat loss is forcing elephants into smaller spaces, where conflicts with people turn deadly. And yet, despite these dangers, elephants continue to amaze us with facts that sound almost unbelievable. 22-month pregnancy, the longest of any mammal. Imagine being pregnant for 2 years. No thanks. 27 beats per minute, an elephant's heart rate is slower than your yoga teacher mid-meditation. A single tooth? Over 3 kilograms. That's heavier than your laptop. And yes, they're excellent swimmers, though I wouldn't want to share a pool lane with one. And if that's not enough, elephants even have something most animals don't, a way of calling each other by name. In 2024, researchers discovered that African elephants use unique low rumbles to address each other by name. Imagine living in the savannah and suddenly hearing a 6-ton animal bellow, "Hey Steve," from 3 miles away. Forget caller ID, elephants invented it first. But these calls aren't just funny, they reveal a deep intelligence and emotional world that's hard to ignore. Here's where things get serious. In 100 years, African elephants dropped from 10 million to 400,000. Asian elephants, barely 40,000 remain. But there's hope. Anti-poaching units, protected parks, and community-led ecotourism are helping. In some regions, elephant populations are slowly rising. Protect them, and ecosystems recover with them. And what makes them worth saving isn't just their size, it's their hidden superpowers. Their power lies in their memory and empathy. Elephants can recall watering holes decades later, defend calves with military precision, and even comfort herd members in distress. It's not just strength, it's wisdom. And that might be the most powerful weapon of all. But with great power comes great myths. So let's bust some elephant legends. Scared of mice? Nope, they just don't like tiny things darting near their trunks. Ivory grows back? False, tusks are teeth. Once gone, they're gone. Dumb because they're big? Wrong. Elephants rival apes and dolphins in intelligence. And since everyone loves a showdown, let's put elephants head to head against some of the animal kingdom's fiercest fighters. 2 heavyweight champions of the savannah, the elephant and the rhino. The rhino brings armor plating for skin, a horn that can gore predators, and a nasty temper. But the elephant, it's simply on another level. A bull elephant can weigh twice as much as a rhino, has a trunk with the strength to flip cars, and tusks that can shatter a rhino's defense. In a one-on-one standoff, stamina and sheer size tip the scale. The rhino might land a charge, but over time, the elephant's bulk and endurance dominate. Think of it as a heavyweight boxer fighting a middleweight. One blow might hurt, but the giant usually wins the long game. Now the hippo, nature's angry speedboat with teeth longer than a lion's claws. In the water, the hippo reigns supreme. It can hold its breath for 5 minutes, strike from below like a submarine, and its bite can crush bone like peanut shells. But take the fight to land, and the tables flip. Elephants tower over hippos, weigh more and can push or stomp them with terrifying force. While hippos are explosive sprinters, they tire quickly. Elephants built for endurance can outlast and overpower them outside the water. So unless the fight happens in a river, the crown stays with the elephant. This is where things get dramatic. Lions are the only cats that dare to test an elephant, but even then, it's usually desperation. A pride can bring numbers, claws, and teamwork. They might circle a calf or aim for a weaker individual, but a full-grown bull elephant? That's a walking fortress. Picture a tank, but with tusks that swing like swords. Lions can harass, leap, and bite, but their teeth and claws simply can't pierce through inches of elephant hide. The risk is enormous. One stomp or tusk thrust can end a lion instantly. So while lions are the kings of the savannah against a healthy adult elephant, they're fighting a losing war. Calves are vulnerable, but a grown giant is practically untouchable. But beyond battles, elephants also carry stories that sound almost mythical. In drought-stricken Kenya, a matriarch once led her herd over 50 kilometers to a forgotten spring she remembered from decades earlier. When they arrived, they dug into the earth until fresh water bubbled up, not only saving themselves, but zebras, antelope, and even predators that depended on the herd's wisdom. That's not instinct, that's memory, leadership, and survival passed down through generations. And with that, let's wrap up our journey with the giants. Elephants are more than giants. They're guardians of biodiversity, keepers of memory, and symbols of survival. They remind us that strength doesn't just come from size, but from wisdom, community, and resilience. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Wildlife Lounge, and drop a comment. Who would win? Elephant, hippo, or rhino? Let's settle it in the comments. Stay curious, stay wild, and be sure to stay tuned.